Mediolan to nie tylko światowa stolica mody czy opery, ale również rynku transferowego, który rocznie wyceniany jest na ponad 6 miliardów euro. Już teraz zapraszam Was na kolejne okno transferowe na meczyki wspólnie z Fabrizio Romano, czyli królem transferowych newsów, który w sierpniu stał się najbardziej wpływową osobą na świecie na Twitterze, pozostawiając w tyle samego Elona Muska. Spotkałem się w Mediolanie z Fabrizio, aby porozmawiać o kulisach jego pracy, o transferach, agentach, presji, oczekiwań oraz jak to się właściwie wszystko zaczęło. Na spotkanie z Fabrizio Romano zapraszam z marką wstrząsoodpornych zegarków G-Shock. Hello, my friend. Good to see you finally.
My pleasure. How are you? All good?
Yes. Okay, let's go. Okay, Fabrizio Romano himself, not on Skype. Finally, we could meet each other in the headquarters of the World Football Transfer. This is how it looks like, guys.
It's just my home, so nothing special, but yes, we tried.
But we think that's actually the headquarters of the World Transfer Football News. Not only us, but millions of fans who actually follow you on Instagram and Twitter, of course. Lots of football shirts, Fabrizio, some prizes, some articles you wrote for different newspapers.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, these are just some of many shirts I have. I love to collect shirts because of the story of the shirt. It's not just about the club or the player, but the story behind the friendship I have with some of these players. And so players like, I remember, I see Szoboszlai when he was playing at Salzburg and before moving to Leipzig and then Liverpool. I still remember how special it was when he gave me the shirt and he had this big dream to be in Premier League. And then Troy Deeney, one of my favorite players because I'm big Watford fan. There are players like Malinowski. That shirt is from the World Cup. So for me it's a very special one to have a shirt from the World Cup. Diogo Dalot, a great player who I really appreciate as a guy too. De Rossi at Boca Juniors. That's a very special one. An Italian playing for Boca, it still feels special. And then there is Sergio Ramos, Real Madrid, an historical one. I play as a centre-back with my friends on a 5-side. So Sergio Ramos has always been one of my favorites. Victor Osimhen after Bologna-Napoli when he scored a goal. Cucurella at Brighton. A lot of crazy stories.
No Lewandowski shirt. No Lewandowski shirt.
We should welcome. You should bring
we should bring you one. That's the European champion shirt of
Chiellini, yes.
And he actually retired.
Yeah, he just retired, but as an Italian, I feel really proud.
And it's actually his shirt, yeah?
Yeah, from the Euros, one of the games of the Euros. Yeah, so a really important one. Enrique Elme from Boca.
Yeah, I'm also mentioning the articles you wrote, but 1 year ago there was a piece about you in the New York Times, and I just read it. It was 24th of January 2022.
Yeah.
You had 6.5 million followers on Twitter.
Yeah.
Now it's almost 2 years later. You have 20 million followers. How do you do this?
With obsession. That's the only secret. For me, there is no free day. There is no rest. There is no day where I'm saying, okay, today I want to stay more quiet. For me, football is my positive obsession. I say that in a positive way, obviously. I love football. I love being into this industry. I enjoy that. I'm meeting a lot of people every single day. New people, old people. It's always about building networking. And so I think this is the secret. Being always on point. If you give up one day, at the end, you will never succeed in football. That's my opinion.
I remember your previous interviews, you always said that you actually did a lot of footwork, going around the Milano, going around the cities to meet agents. I'm wondering now if the world has changed a little bit. You don't have to walk out that much because you have everything on the
it really
on
changed
the phone.
It really changed it because I started like this and it was really important. When I was 18, 19, 20, obviously it was important for me to create some background, so to get in touch with new people, to go around the city, restaurants, hotels in Milano is quite special because if you go around in the transfer market period, in an area of 30 minutes by walk, you can find a lot of people like agents, directors, players, presidents. And so it was an incredible opportunity to get to know some people. Now with the phone, it's easier because you call, you send a message and everything, it's easier. But traveling and going in the right places is still very important to me. When there is Champions League, I always try to be like Madrid, London, Paris, Milano, everywhere to meet with agents and to be in touch with people.
And do they actually recognize you and want to get like in contact, in touch? Like, okay, take my phone, maybe we're gonna do something during the transfer window.
Yeah. This is always happening. Yes. Now it's easier. I started this like fighting to get in touch with people, and now they want to get in touch with me. So it's easier, honestly. But yes, I still believe that the active work you do is really important. If you give up and you think, okay, I have a lot of followers, now I can relax, it's the beginning of your end.
I'm asking also about the changing world, because you don't need to have a huge studio. Of course, you work for us, you work for Sky Sports, you work for CBS, for huge networks.
Yeah.
But you are actually your own brand. You could work whenever you want, and I have to ask you now, because we didn't plan this, can we show your studio now? To jest, możesz to pokazać? To jest właściwie całe studio Fabrizio Romano. Kojarzę tę ścianę, na której Fabrizio nagrywa. Wiele tu, moi drodzy, naprawdę nie potrzeba. I'm just telling the people, you don't need like the huge space and the huge studio to break the proper, big, huge news.
Yeah, it depends also on how you are, I think, no?
Yeah.
There is some people, and I respect that, it's just your vision, who like to be in a very big environment every single day, or maybe in a traditional office. I never liked that. When I had the opportunity to do that when I was younger, I was suffering there, because I was saying, okay, I'm wasting a lot of time here in being in touch with so many people. We start with the gossips and all these kind of things. I prefer to focus on
some
work.
Coffee,
Exactly. Yeah. I was saying, like, I stay here 8 hours, but I'm working maybe 2. Yeah. I want to work 9 hours, not 8, and know what I say on football, and so that's why I feel very comfortable here.
Yeah, and I actually ask you this privately once, that do you actually publish everything on your own? Because you are a workaholic, definitely, like myself. That's obvious. But you have so many platforms that must be very hard to publish everything on yours.
It is. I always publish everything on every platform by myself, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, everywhere. It's not easy, because every day you have to do many things. So you are a journalist, you are a social media manager, you are many things in the same person. But at the end, I'm not even thinking about that. It's just a system. It's just a process that I do every day. So for me, it's automatic process I do every day. For me, it's part of my job, because I think when people are coming to your platform to see your news, to see your updates, they want to see it authentic. I take responsibility for what I say. I know that some news are really changing the day of some people, in positive or negative in some moments.
It's sometimes just one word.
Just one word can change everything.
Agreement, verbal agreement.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for me, it's really important to respect my followers by giving them the authenticity of my content. That's it.
We are talking about the shirts, the articles, the prizes. I'm curious if you have seen the information. It was in August or September that you were the most influential person in the world
on Twitter.
On Twitter in August, like being ahead of Elon Musk even. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's completely crazy. Honestly, I was not expecting that, and I have really no words for that. The only negative part of my job, of our job, is that when you are in the industry of transfer market, you can never enjoy moments, because people always want something else the following day. So, okay, you have this breaking news, this scoop. And so I didn't have the chance to enjoy that much, because it was August. So super busy. I said, wow, it's crazy. But then after 5 minutes, okay, go back into calls and messages. But yes, thinking about that now, it still feels incredible with Elon Musk in the same.
What was it? 4.2 billion impressions.
Yeah, impressions.
So all the replies, retweets, and stuff. This is completely crazy.
Thank you.
Which news is the hottest always in terms of clubs? In terms of, I don't know.
Man United,
names?
Premier League in general. Man United is very strong. Also Chelsea, Premier League clubs in general, I would say. And then in Spain, obviously Real Madrid and Barcelona. These are the clubs who really make the difference. And then also we have some countries where maybe, okay, they are not at that level, but the fans are incredible, like in Turkey.
Yes.
Every time you publish an exclusive information about those countries, they go completely crazy. And I love this feeling because you can feel the excitement while you are posting something, you know, and this is an incredible feeling.
Do you feel the pressure of delivering?
Yes, but it's a positive pressure always.
You don't have grey hair.
Not yet, very soon. But no, I feel the pressure, but for me it's always a challenge, you know? It's not a negative pressure. I think pressure has to be part of the game. Otherwise, if you start to be relaxed, it's over for you. So I like the pressure, but I never live this in a negative way. Also because I think it would be not human to control the world market. So it's obvious that we have many colleagues. I really respect big part of them because I don't think it's a competition. I think you have to be on your way, the best way possible, and so yes, pressure, but positive.
But do you have one or maybe more news that you were actually publishing with like shaking hands, that the pressure is really huge, that if it's gonna be a bad one, a wrong one, it's gonna be a disaster?
Yes, sometimes it happens. Sometimes it happens that.
But when adrenaline is also huge, yeah?
Yes, it's
I know
huge, it's really huge, but I have one rule into myself. If you don't feel that something is right, don't publish. Only publish when you feel, especially at top level, that something is 100% right. Otherwise, if you still have a 1% feeling that maybe this could be not so right, better to do one more call or maybe arrive second on the news. This is how I see things. I prefer to be careful rather than going all in and feeling, okay, maybe I'm wrong.
But you know, sometimes it's not your fault.
Yeah, I know.
You can have one person, second person, third person.
In this case, I feel good, you know, because I say I did my best. I told people what's happening, so what's the reality? I'm not lying to people. Yeah. For me, the only point is when I feel the disrespect is when you tell them something that is not happening or not true. That's the point when I say, okay, maybe I'm selling dreams and I don't want to sell dreams. Obviously,
you had a lot of like breaking huge news, but I'm thinking about one from, let's say, 2 years of your work, and I'm thinking the biggest one and the most like that was really a huge surprise. Nagelsmann sacked by Bayern. We are sitting with some friends, and I was like, why?
Yeah.
That was probably the crazy story. Tell us about it.
That was the biggest, honestly, probably of my life, of my career, because
he was skiing or something.
First of all, it was completely unexpected. It was international break. Everything was really quiet around Bayern. They were top of the group, top of the Champions League numbers. They only conceded 2 goals against Viktor Plzen. So a fantastic moment for Bayern, going very well also in the league. So when I got the call of the sirs who told me, look, Nagelsmann out, Tuchel in, I said, okay, we speak tomorrow, let's see, maybe you mean for next summer, let's speak tomorrow, it's international break, so it's not He told me, no, it's happening now, tonight.
On the board, in Sabenerstrasse or something,
I said, how is possible? So I started calling people and everything. It was really difficult to manage that news, because...
To confirm it, yeah?
Yeah, really difficult. But then one source called me when I was trying to check in every way, and told me, look, I don't know how you found out about this, but I respect this too much that at 9 p.m. in international break, you're still calling me and you got this news, and I can't lie to you. This is the reality.
Just tell us, was it someone from Bayern or out of
I will
Bayern
never say anything in my life.
But I remember, I think I watched the interview with Gary Lineker, and you said that actually Bayern was pissed off, but after that they respected you, that you actually tried to call them.
I can confirm that, yes. Obviously Bayern reacted after the news and they were really disappointed. Not disappointed, they were angry because they didn't want the news to come out. They wanted to call the manager before doing
so anything. We know it wasn't Bayern.
I don't know, maybe, you never know. Maybe there is many people into clubs, so...
Yeah, but they actually respected you for...
But they respected me because they said, okay, in that moment we were angry because we didn't want the news to come out like this, but you try to check with different sources, and at the end you've been respectful. So for me, that was the most important part of the story.
Are the clubs, players, I don't know, agents are often angry at you that, okay, the news is good, but why you publish this at this moment? You can break it, you can like switch it off, or different things.
Yeah, it happens. It happens on daily basis. But then I think they understand. It depends. It's always case by case. But they understand that it's just my job. So if I have a good relationship with the source and they told me maybe wait a bit, you can wait some days, I will always be respectful. For me, the respect for the source and the respect for the club, the player, the agent, or whoever is always in the first position. But then if I find out about something and I don't have a relationship with you, I have to do my job and I have to proceed with the news.
Do players, as we said, the world is changing, so the players are on Instagram, on Twitter and stuff. Do players actually tell you the news?
It happened, sometimes yes, it happens. You have to be always...
They want to like have their surname on your
You have to be careful
feed.
with players because sometimes they are too positive or too negative about something because they are overreacting. Many times they are not in control of the negotiation,
It's happening.
Or only the agent telling them, look, we are doing this maybe to keep control on the player. Yeah, exactly. So you have always to check what they say, but sometimes it happens, yes.
So they are not the best sources.
They are the best source when it's time to close the news, as I say. I'm traveling tomorrow to go there and sign the contract. In that moment, they are very good.
Do they actually reply very often? That like DMs are now completely different, like mailed on Instagram. Do they actually often reply to you?
It depends. Yes, it's always case by case, really. It depends. It's like in life, no? There is some people more open, some people more closed, but yes, in general, yes.
And Fabrizio, how do you filter the sources? Obviously, you are the huge platform at the moment. You can be basically used by agents, especially. Agents, how they are. They are dodgy. Yeah,
they are, but I think that now they also know that with big amount of followers, if I want to kill them, if they give me something false, it takes 5 seconds. And with that kind of platform, you can use me, but I can also tell people, look at this agent, what he's doing. And so all the other players will see, all the people in the industry will see. So I think it's not so smart to use someone who is potentially powerful. So for me, it's always about the instinct and the contacts, because I have some people that they can tell me something and I don't even need to check because I know them since a long time and I know that what they're saying is 100% true. In other cases, I always need to check some more time. So it always depends, but my instinct is always the final say. Yeah. And the fans, obviously, many of them say that they actually trust you more than their own mothers. How do you manage them? Because, it's always depends on the news. Sometimes they like you, sometimes they hate you. They can be really bad people in terms of hate on the internet. How do you manage your fan base, basically? Look, for me, the most important part is always when I go to sleep at night to feel good because I did my best for myself and for the people following me. So, for example, it happened during the Caicedo saga in the summer that Liverpool fans starting to attack me because they thought that I was informed on Caicedo going to Chelsea. I just did my job. Caicedo wanted to go to Chelsea and I said that Caicedo wanted to go to Chelsea despite Liverpool having an agreement with Brighton. So what should I do? Should I say he's going to Liverpool? No, he's going to Chelsea because he wants to go to Chelsea. Then people start to attack you because they overreact. I understand, because into football in some moments you want the player to join your club, not the other, so I can understand. The only thing I really don't like is when they start saying, you're getting paid by the player, the agent, the club, or this kind of things. This is really disrespectful and I don't like it because I'm really super clean and I always say, come and see if you find something, I will retire the following day because I would never enter into this kind of things. It would be really, really stupid. So for me, it's always about respect people by telling them the truth. That's the only thing. And the Brighton thing, when they actually wrote that it's a fake news, it's a fake news. How did you feel, and how did you feel after those days? Few days, 3 days? It was 2 days. Yes. 2 days.
That Caicedo actually went to Chelsea.
Yes. Look, you mean Cucurella? You mean?
Cucurella.
Yeah. Yeah, with Cucurella was completely
basically
crazy.
They denied it.
I was scared, honestly. When I saw the official statement, I was scared. The first minute, then I called my source and they told me, don't worry. 100%.
It's happening,
so I started saying, okay, let's do it. Let's see who lied. I think it was something like this on Twitter, and then it was going viral. And the best part of the story for me was Chelsea announcing the transfer by joking on that statement from Brighton. So it was completely
Prosecco or something. Yeah, we did it. We did it. Here we go. Obviously, it's your like trademark tagline. Was it a coincidence? You just wrote it on Twitter or somewhere? Like, here we go.
Yeah. It was not planned with any marketing agency or anything. No, it was completely genuine because I was just tweeting. I don't even remember the transfer. This is showing how genuine it was. It was just reporting on something about Man United. It was taking a long time, like updating on every detail. And then the deal happened and they say like, here we go, okay, finally it's done. And people started texting me in the comments like, can you say please, here we go also for Barcelona, Real Madrid, Arsenal. And so I started with that process and it was nice. And I said, okay, we can keep going. But
I don't know, did you actually try or did this to reserve the rights for here we go on the transfer market or something? No,
I would never.
You don't care. Basically, everybody knows it's yours anyway.
Yeah, if you do good pasta at your restaurant, you don't need to have the trademark for pasta. People will come because pasta is good. It's your pasta.
Exactly. Do you have like one news that you actually regret? We are talking about, you cannot be always 100%.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Sometimes you are wrong because of different things. It's not your fault, but shit happens, yeah?
Yeah. It can happen many times. The lesson I learned is with free agents. With free agents, you can sign a contract and then the following day say, sorry, this contract is no longer valid, I'm going elsewhere. A pre-contract, you know what happens with free agents. So, for example, there was a pre-contract signed between Gini Wijnaldum and Barcelona. I still remember that transfer. It was done. The pre-contract was ready. They exchanged everything with the lawyers. The medical staff of Barcelona had the travel schedule to go there and to do the medical test with Gini Wijnaldum. And then overnight, Paris Saint-Germain offered 3 million more to the player. And he changed his mind. He says, sorry, I'm no longer signing the official contract. I'm going to PSG. It was a here we go for me, but it's still a here we go for me because at the end the agreement was there. Then if you want to wait for the signature, you wait for the official statement, not for me.
Exactly, it's not your fault. Fabrizio, how long do you plan to go on like this with no sleep? You sleep like 2-3 hours during the transfer market? Actually, now it's still holiday for you.
The most difficult question, yeah. Honestly, not super long, I tell you the truth. Yeah. I don't want to stay in this business and not feeling like, okay, I can still be super competitive every single day. I think it's like football players, that's I always compare. You arrive at a moment in your life, I'm not still there, but I feel it will come, where you have to decide if you want to start going to crazy countries and just get your money and this kind of things, or you want to end your career like, okay, I've been a great player and I'm happy with my career. It depends. I think you have to understand that in some moments
because at the end it's really exhausting, mentally too.
It is. And also the point I told you before, you can never enjoy. Today you can give the biggest scoop in your life, and the following day people still want something else about another club, another league, another story. You can never really enjoy, and this is probably the most tough part of this job for me. So at the moment I'm really enjoying. I want to keep going, but it's not going to be till I will be 50 or 60. Not at all.
Even if you are in the best time of your life with friends, on holiday, during the dinner, at the back of your head, you're thinking, okay, what's going to happen in few hours, few days, few months. You're thinking about it all the time.
Always. It's always, even when I'm sleeping. Sometimes during the transfer window, I wake up.
Your craziest dream?
And I was dreaming about something that I missed the news on one player that was not even existing, but my brain was still processing that kind of information. My nightmare was that, and so it can't be too long.
Okay, Fabrizio, your prediction for January transfer market, what's going to happen, you think?
I think it's going to be a good one, especially in England.
Yeah.
Bayern and English clubs, this is my expectation. Because in Spain, I think it's going to be very quiet. Real Madrid are happy, Barcelona are not going to do anything crazy. So I think in England it's going to be a really nice window with Man United active, with Arsenal probably active, Chelsea for sure, Newcastle. So many clubs will move in the January window, and I think in England as always will be funny. And then Bayern will sign 2 or 3 players. So they already signed 2 with Iracunda and Brian Zaragoza for the future. But for the January window, they will do 2 or 3 signings. So I think it's going to be a very good window. Huh?
Yeah, but Ronald Araujo, it's not possible, I think, yeah, during the
very difficult, more than
winter,
difficult.
yeah.
I would say really complicated. From what I'm hearing, he's not leaving in January.
Yeah, the Saudis, will they strike again during the winter?
Look, for the January window, from what I'm hearing, they will look at some opportunities, players who are maybe unhappy at their club, so to bring some more player. But I don't think it's going to be superstars, as it happened with Cristiano 1 year ago, for example. I think it's going to be more quiet in terms of superstars in January, but very aggressive in the summer. I think in the summer they will be back for many superstars and it will be huge.
And we are obviously talking about predictions. We don't know obviously what's going to happen, but there's a lot of fuss about Lewandowski maybe leaving after the season, not now, but after the season. Obviously he's not scoring that much at the moment. Probably it's not his prime in Barcelona anymore. Do you think there's a possibility he will leave in the summer?
Look, for sure there is a lot of interest from Saudi.
Yeah.
There was already last summer, and I'm sure that they will try again. For this kind of players, Lewandowski, De Bruyne, Mo Salah, they will try for this kind of brand players. So for
At
sure
least they will
try again.
ask, yeah?
Yeah, they will, 100%, also because the connection with his agents has always been very good, so I'm sure they will try. But at the same time, I think many people is forgetting that Lewandowski is playing every single game.
Yeah.
They need a backup. They will have now a backup with Vitor Roque finally, but it's incredible to see that Barcelona don't have a backup striker. You only have Lewandowski, who is not 20 years old. So I think Vitor Roque will help Lewandowski to be back in good form, to rest a bit in some moments, to feel also the competition of a younger guy. I think the second half of the season will be way better for Lewandowski. And I think at the end he has the chance to stay one more season in Barcelona at least.
And in Italy we saw few first pages of Alla Gazzetta, Tutto Sport about Piotr Zieliński, Inter, Juventus, or signing a new contract with Napoli.
Yeah.
So your prediction for him?
Look, I think it's the end of a cycle at Napoli, not just for Zieliński, but for many players. So I think it makes sense also for him to look at other opportunities. Napoli will still try to extend the contract. He's a crucial player, but I still think there is a concrete chance for him to move as a free agent. I don't think for Juventus is a concrete priority, and not even for the player to go with this match. For Inter there is interest, and I think he could be perfect player for the way they play with this three-man midfield, very active in defensive and offensive phase. So I think Zieliński could be perfect. Let's see if some other club will also move.
Premier League maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
There was Newcastle interest in the past, Liverpool.
Yeah, that's why I think it's going to be a really interesting one, because it's not easy in 2024 to find this kind of player available for free. Yeah.
Okay, Fabrizio, that's all from Milan office. Actually your home, your apartment, but we are seeing each other during the winter transfer window on Skype. So a few words for our Polish viewers, our Polish fans.
Yeah, it will be great, as always. I thank all of you for giving me the opportunity to be connected with Polish journalists and with Polish football. For me, it's a super pleasure. I'm sure it's going to be exciting. We will have a lot of informations. We're going to share a nice time together, and a big hug to all the football fans in Poland. See you soon.
28 grudnia, to zdradzę, pierwsze okno transferowe. Widzimy się z Fabrizio Romano. Fabrizio Romano, thank you very much, my brother.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Thank you. Ciao.